Hammer Down Racing Report. And now your hosts, Scott Hammer and Ron Miller.
Welcome, race fans, to the Hammer Down Racing Report for Thursday, January 18th.
Hard to believe we're that far through January.
It's the Hammer Down Racing Report, part of the Evergreen Podcast Network. This is show number 314. Scott Hammer, Ron Miller coming at you live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter from the Dominator Race Products Studio. We were down a little bit on our Apple Podcast charts this past week.
Oh, we'll be back this week. We've got
we haven't charted in the Australia for a while, but we were 110 in the U.S.
Ooh.
Canada and Australia, we're not. We fell off the charts there for some reason. But next week we might be back on the charts in Australia. Talk about that more.
Well, and we're going to have a lot of listeners tonight because they're excited about our guests.
I'm kind of excited about that too.
I am too.
Tonight on the show, joining us here very shortly, the new owners of Millstream Speedway down in Findlay, Matt and Beth Cogley, will be joining us. We were chatting with them a little bit before the show here. Excited to talk with them, find out some more about what's going on. I know they're a little behind the eight ball because originally they weren't planning on the Speed Week show in June.
And then surprise.
So, they got some work to do there. We'll find out what all they have to do, what's left to do, how you can help, and everything. We'll be talking to them here shortly. In the meantime, if you want to win a limited edition Hammer Down Racing Report window sticker, hold on, it's there. Now you can see it. Well, one of these guys, courtesy of DCR Graphics, featuring our 23 Hammer Down Army on there. Just type in the comments of our Facebook Live, hashtag DCR, just like you see there on the screen. And
it's a limited edition, so you will be special.
You can't buy these. Yeah,
You'll be special.
These are not sold by DCR, but you can buy the the regular Hammer Down Racing Report logo window sticker, become part of the Hammer Down Army. We're going to talk about that later because I actually did some work on the website.
Really?
Yeah. I put a list together of all of our Hammer Down Army drivers.
Because it was too cold to do anything outside, so you...
Yeah, I still haven't opened up that battery yet. It's still in the box.
Haven't needed it.
I got to mention Ron Miller Race Cars. Speaking of which, if you need a new battery, whatever, he's got it. Race cars, parts, safety equipment. He's got some late models for sale still.
Oh, yeah.
Building some trucks, fixing bead breakers, reinforcing them.
Did you try it yet?
No.
Okay.
It was still a little warm even when I got it out of the truck. Or out of my trunk, yeah. But, give Ron a call, 734-856-7223. Also have to mention Oakshade Raceway, where the fastest meet to race, featuring the UMP Dirt Car Summer Nationals coming up July 13th. And as we found out talking to Sam Driggers last week, they're going to have an American Late Model Series show in June. I forget the exact date. I think it might be June 1st, but I'm not entirely sure. So we'll just say June.
Yeah.
The ALMS will be back at
and the Barney
Oakshade
Oldfield's always in June.
But that's a little later, though, usually. Yeah. We'll see. Make sure to follow Oakshade Raceway on Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram, even on TikTok, even though I'm not a big TikToker, but go for it. They do stuff on there. OakshadeRaceway.com. You can also find out information there. Freeze frame photos, DCR Graphics, and Dominator Race Products, also sponsors of the program. How about we check out some racing action from this past weekend?
Sounds good.
Racing Roundup.
Bowl Nationals wrapped up last weekend after going all week. It seems so long ago now for some reason. I'm like, was that just last weekend?
It's the cold weather, Scott. It just slows everything down.
Chili Bowl Nationals at SageNet Expo Center in Tulsa Thursday. We'll go back there since it was the last time we were on. Spencer Baston picking up the win in preliminary action. Logan Seavey on Friday, a little prelude to what was going to happen on Saturday as Logan Seavey held off Buddy Kofoid and picked up his second consecutive Chili Bowl national title, which ties into our how many from last week.
It does.
How many times has the winner Saturday night won the Chili Bowl Nationals? That number was 2. So everybody that gets 2 will be in the drawing for a Big D's Pizza. And we'll be doing that later on in the show as well. Wild West Shootout also going on. Vado Speedway in New Mexico. Bobby Pierce picking up the win in late model action on Friday night with Terry Phillips picking up the win in the mods. Saturday night, Bobby Pierce again picking up the win in the late models with Gary Christman picking up the win in the mods. Sunday, guess who was leading?
Bobby Pierce.
And then he had a right rear go down right in front of Kyle Larson. You see that?
I didn't. I saw it.
Kyle thought he was actually, because he got into him because Pierce slowed coming off the corner, and I think Kyle thought that he might have cut down his tire with the contact, but it looked like it actually went down in the corner, and that's why he slowed. So Bobby Pierce did not win the final there on Sunday. Kyle Larson ended up picking up that win. Pierce, though, was able to get the tire changed, come back to 7th, and he wins the Wild West Shootout Series Championship with the 7th place finish.
Yeah,
so. But he missed out on, what was it, like $100,000 bonus if he could have got that?
I think it was a $50,000 loss just on the finale.
Yeah, that's an expensive tire.
Yeah, it was.
Kate Dillard picked up the mod feature win there on Sunday. He also was the series champ in the modifieds. Down under action, Esperance Speedway Saturday, Sean Mazzucchelli. Going to go with that.
Not familiar with him. So.
He won the AMCA division race there. Carl Della won the Formula 500. Sean Barrett picking up the win in the late models. High Tech Oil's Toowoomba Speedway on Saturday. Scott Thompson picking up the wingless sprint car win. Chris Pagel winning the production sedans. Luke Wilkinson in street stocks, and Leon Williams in the Formula 500. Manjimup Speedway Saturday. Tim Bujos. Limited sprint car action. Names are getting harder this week. They've been easy up until this week.
You're doing really well on the Speedway names, though.
Wayne Leviston. Well, they're fun. Manjimup, Toowoomba.
Yeah.
Those are fun names. Wayne Leviston picking up the win in the production sedans there. Shane Wild winning the street stocks that Saturday at Manjimup Speedway. Perth Motorplex. Friday was rained out after heat races. Got back in action Saturday night with Brad Sweet picking up the win in the USA versus Western Australia Sprint Car Speed Week finale. Callum Williamson crowned the series champion of that Speed Week deal. And Rod Musera picking up the win in the late models Premier Speedway on Sunday. Carson Macedo picking up a win running in the 360 sprint cars. Rowdy Andiata picked up the win in junior Formula 500. His name's Rowdy. I like that. Yeah. And finally, Borderline Speedway, which was actually earlier today, which was like 14 hours ago in Australia.
Right.
Sheldon Hodenshield picked up the win in sprint car action, the 30th Kings Challenge at Borderline Speedway. So that's it. That's your racing roundup for tonight.
And we had to go to Australia to get most of that.
Yeah, Wade Onger's going to be on the show from Australia next week. He'll be our guest
exciting.
for that. And a former announcer at Millstream Speedway. Actually was Flag City when he was there, but same track, different name.
Good friend.
DCR Graphics is your vinyl racing graphics provider. DCR does full wraps, partial wraps, number decals, sponsor decals of just about any kind. They can work with you to create a custom design for you. Locally owned and operated. You can call or text Dale at any time at DCR Graphics at 419-308-9523. That number also scrolling at the bottom of the screen. Check them out on Facebook at facebook.com/DCR Graphics. You can also order your official Hammer Down Racing Report window sticker from DCR Graphics for $5. He'll mail it out to you or bring it to the track if you happen to be at the same track he's going to be at. It sounds like he's going to be doing some traveling this year, too. Show us your Hammer Down stickers on your race car, and we'll let everyone know where you finish during the summer. Be part of the Hammer Down Army. And again, we'll talk more about that a little bit later. Also, Dominator Race Products, they have what you need to be in winner's circle. Dominator with 30 years of experience to put you out front. Hoods, fillers, doors, quarters. Check out their new composite ultimate body panels. A lot of those pretty cool Killer Z nose on a car on his Facebook page that somebody sent in. I was out at the shop talking to Bentley on Tuesday and
doing some research.
Yes, I was leaning towards getting one of those Killer Z front ends. But anyway, you can order direct from Dominator Race Products or call at 419-923-6970. Dominator Race Products also available from your local reputable race shops such as Ron Miller Race Cars.
Yeah.
And without further ado, how about we bring our guests on? Let's switch up some cameras here. Remove this. And welcome to the show. It's Matt and Beth Cogley.
Hi there.
Let me
Good to be on.
make that bigger.
Oh, it's good to have you here after, you know, it's been a couple of months and everything's been kind of quiet. Not a lot of information coming out, and we hope to overcome some of that.
And I kind of wanted to wait a few months till the dust had a chance to settle, and you guys kind of had a better handle on where everything's been. You guys took over, what was that, announced late October, I think it was?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
So for folks that aren't familiar with the Cogleys, the new owners of Millstream Speedway, you guys live right out by the track, and you have some background in racing as well. You want to tell our listeners a little bit about your background in racing?
Matt's run lightning sprints for 5 years, and our son Alex raced with us for 3 of those years. 2 seasons ago, I guess now, 22, Matt also ran a 360 with the Great Lakes Super Sprints. And this year in his Lightning, finished second in the points and came really close.
Pesky kidney stones. That'll do it every time.
We talked to most of our guests about what they think about points racing. What are your thoughts?
It makes you definitely race differently.
Yeah, now remember, you're going to be a promoter next year, so spring, so you're going to have a different thought about points racing.
Actually, you guys are going to have some help promoting. You guys tapped Richard Farmer there from Fremont to help out. How'd that deal kind of come together?
I guess we had met Rich and Shelley prior to purchasing, and Shelley and I have gotten to the point where I bounce a lot of things off of her, and they knew that we had a tough row ahead of us and wanted to try to prevent some of the newbie mishaps. And I think what's going to be great is that we're going to be able to get our people working beside their people and learning, and right from the beginning, we're going to be able to get out of the gate.
Gotcha.
I knew a lot of the hills that we were about to climb, in pitfalls that we might go into. So they've been super, super helpful in this, to say the least.
So are you going to kind of race nights kind of let Rich and his crew kind of take over and run the show and kind of learn from him? Is that kind of the plan?
Absolutely.
Yep, that's the plan.
Like I said, there's going to be so much others going on.
Have we decided yet what night is going to be race night?
Well, there's 2
This year we're going to try, this year we're going to try some different nights. We've got 2 on the schedule. June 14th is a Friday. That's part of Speed Weeks, of course. And then August 25th is a Sunday, which is traditional Millstream. We are working on another couple of shows, so we're going to just kind of see where things fall this year and then try to solidify things and make it more consistent next year.
Now, I know that that you guys are sprint car guys. Rich Farmer's primarily sprint car guy. This guy over here is, was a late model guy primarily. He's going dirt truck racing though, but
still am.
I'm sure some of our late model listeners are wondering as well. Any plans and possible shows with fenders on it there?
Just talk
Absolutely. I was just talking last night to the dirt car guys, and we don't have anything set up yet, but we're working on it.
Awesome. I'm sure that'll make a lot of late model guys happy.
So you
absolutely
you had a chance to talk with Sam Driggers from Dirt Car?
We talked to him at PRI and to one of his guys last night.
Okay. Yeah, Sam was on our show last week, so
I saw that.
He's a fun guy.
Yeah, he is.
Although he needs a new phone. His phone's a little crunchy there, but anyway. So what I know last fall when you took over, you guys immediately started doing some work. I'm assuming more tear down of things at the track. What is the current status of the facility? Where's it at, and where's it going to be by June 14th?
We can tell you where we'd hope for it to be.
Okay.
Yeah, we will have this. This will happen. It is a big pill to swallow looking this far out right now. There's been a lot of people who have donated a bunch of time, even to this point so far. You mentioned the dust settling, but I'm afraid the dust is not going to stop settling until after race night. So we do have a tall task ahead of us, from bleachers, which it's either you go through and try and make them safe enough for the show, or just go through and we're going to just do it all and be done. We're going to replace all the boards and everything and be done. So
I know
that's
on
what
some
we've done.
I know on some of your Facebook posts you've suggested that if somebody wanted to help, they should contact you. What are your needs? Obviously, with the weather in the last couple of weeks, you're not doing much, but what
a
are your
forecaster.
needs?
Yeah.
And how can people get in touch with you, and what kind of help do you need?
How to get in touch.
How to get in touch is definitely through the Facebook page. The email address is millstreamspeedway@gmail.com, so it's easy to remember. So that's the best way to get in touch, and I'll let him tell you what we need.
Yeah, it's been very tough to get a schedule of any sort because it seems like every weekend we try and set something up, it rains. Last weekend we were still out. We moved some bleachers around, or actually
You were out
first
today.
of this week. We were out yesterday. Today, cold or not, it's got to get done. So we did move quite a bit of bleachers, even just this week here. So
It was a
there's just so much.
today.
Hey,
Yeah, this is a warm day for sure.
Yeah.
Like I say, we've from bleachers to lights to dirt. I know Shane's playing havoc trying to get their project started over in Macomb to get the dirt moved. We're putting new dirt all the way around the track and quite thick. The hills are going to be raised and extended on around.
Nice.
So everybody seems to love the hills at this place. They can let the kids do what kids do and not have to worry. And so we kind of want to enlarge that as well while we're moving all this dirt. Again, so much of this stuff is weather dependent.
So the hillsides will continue around where the pits are?
Pretty close. They'll go probably right in between 3 and 4. We need to see how much dirt we're going to end up with here. That'll be the last one to be done. The south end and 1 is pretty much going to stay where it's at. It'll continue on around through 2 up to where the pit or to where the track entrance is at. And again, all that fence, we took it down. We're going to try and make that shove off area, that lane to get started. That'll be longer, more out into the existing parking what it is now. Obviously we want to get the best dirt on that track. So that's our primary goal here with the short cross points that we have, that we can get onto that without it going back to mud.
That's a lot of tracks are resurfacing or looking for good dirt. So seems to be the
Shane Helms there.
Yeah, Shane Helms is helping us with that.
Yeah, he's really helping us out with that. So that was a win-win for everybody on that project.
We were talking before about the inside walls. I'll let you tell that because that's going to make some people happy.
A lot of people I've talked to, and the biggest one was our insurance company, suggested that goes away. So in order for that to go away, we also need to move or protect the lights. So at that point it become, we'll just jump off the deep end even further. So the wall is going to be going away here inside of a month. In fact, I moved the hoe in this afternoon to do so. That leads us to the lights. We purchased all new LED lights at the cost of
a lot.
Holy Toledo. I am in the wrong business, but we'll have all new lights. Unfortunately, those will need to go around the outside where they can't be hit, but the technology is so much better anymore, and it'll be done. So it is a big ask, but there's enough people that want to see this place succeed and constantly calling, hey, how can we help? How can we help? So that's why I say with some confidence that, we'll get this done.
Conveniently, the wall will give you some base fill for your extended hills.
Potentially, yeah.
There's a little bit inside. Obviously, I've run Lightning for 5 years now. Got into the 360 thing. Really liked working and racing with our group in Michigan. I enjoy those folks. In fact, talked to one of them guys about working down here, actually coming here this weekend. Anyhow, so we're going to end up cutting that wall we're taking out, measures 3/8 of a mile. That wall will come out. We're going to put a 3/8 and smaller track inside of that in order to run Lightning Sprints, 600s, The midgets will more than likely stay on the large track, but we will be able to host more cars that way of different classes. So, and that seemed to go over quite well.
They had an ATV track at one time,
Right.
in the infield there.
That's real small, but yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Gotcha. So without the inside
Slightly,
wall,
yeah.
are you guys on the big track without the inside
Mhm.
walls? Are you going to have those pesky tires that racers?
There will be no A1. No.
Infield tractor tires.
Yeah.
No, those take front ends out. And
Yes, they do.
from a guy who bought enough of those things. We'll either do the berm similar to Butler has, just not quite so tall, where you can still save the car and continue on without looping it or getting hung up on the wall, or do the partial buried automotive tires, which you can ramp off of, but you're not going to lose the car on it.
Interestingly,
a lot of the tracks.
We were talking about Australia early on. Australia, most of the tracks there have a dedicated curb on the inside.
Mm-hmm.
Cut into it.
Actually, like you would have on a street,
Like a concrete
Okay.
a
curb?
regular curb. Usually
Or just a dirt curb?
Usually, a real concrete or pavement curb.
I would prefer berm, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
It's just me, but
Yeah. Just like I say, trying to save cars, trying to save car parts. And
yeah.
it's a tough world to race anymore. So I do want to make it harder. We got the opportunity to do it right now this time. So let's do it.
No, you also mentioned that there's going to be a whole new press box as well.
Yeah, we're kind of sitting in it right now. I've lost my race shop in a couple of bays. I don't know how we're going to get this monster out of here, but we'll figure something. It gave me something to do in these days when it was really super cold. So we've got
still going to have
30 by 14.
They're going to have like the suite next door, like the old tower did.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yep.
The old one's just a little on the rickety side, and it'll probably stay up for a little while for storage and things like that. But I think it's time to bring in the new one, and it's a little bit bigger and definitely a lot sturdier.
What about that?
Leaves room for addition.
That awning that was behind it, is that still up or?
It is for now.
Yeah, we've gotten, obviously we own a demolition business, so taking stuff like that down is kind of nature. Right now we were given a 30 by 40 Morton that's like 3 years old, and that'll end up in the pits side. That'll give us a place to run some of our electrical work over there, bathrooms that actually flush, and the scales.
Not for June, but down
I
the
won't be there
road.
for June unless you got somebody who can put up a barn quick. So, but that was I think that'll be the only thing that we won't be able to, just because of the rules and regulations, is having the flush toilets. And we are working. We talked to them
This week
on the trailers, the portable trailers that have flush toilets into them. So
we'll use those for temporary, well, for June and probably August, and hopefully by 25 we'll have all the rest of it done.
yes.
Okay. And we mentioned the Ohio Sprint Speed Week show. The Fast series is going to be there. That's actually going to be the Fast series for all of Ohio Sprint Speed Week this year,
Right.
with the merger of High Limit and All Stars, or the absorption, I think is more like it, of the All Stars. Is it? I don't know if you even have this yet, but is there going to be any support classes that night? Do you have any details on that yet, or is it still too far out?
It is a little too far out. We've been talking to all the promoters, all the other tracks. I don't think any of us have that settled yet.
Okay, and same thing for the GLSS show on.
Well, that's 3 classes. They are going to bring all 3 groups down:
okay.
the super sprints, the wingless,
The
traditional sprints, and the lightnings. So that's one of the things about running on a Sunday that Matt and I have always said, is that you've got to keep the show tight, because people have to get home. They got to go to work. So probably 3 classes in a night is about what we're going to want to run. So that'll probably be the full show in August.
I agree with you there. I think that's definitely good. And you're still working on any idea then? I know you said you were working on some other things. Any idea, like maybe a total number of shows that you would end up running this Ideally for you. I know two is
just a guess.
I know you already said that 2 was more than you originally thought, but where are we at now?
Well,
less than 6.
Yeah,
5, maybe 6.
as I said, we said from the beginning, we're not going to promise things we can't follow up on. So we're promising 2 and weather permitting, but we'd like to have at least 2 more and maybe 2 beyond that. So yeah, we're keeping working on it.
Awesome. Well, definitely keep us up to date on those, and we'll
Sure
pass
will.
that along to our listeners here. What's your guys' long-term plans for Millstream? Are we eventually going to see, or let me put it this way, would you like to eventually host a weekly racing program, or would you prefer just to keep it like a special events run every couple of weeks or something?
I guess at least for the foreseeable future, it'll be a special events. The weekly.
For the first few years,
Absolutely.
probably just special events until we really get our feet under us. The weekly thing is exhausting for everyone. I would love to see some of the other tracks even consider doing a 2 and 2, alternating nights or something like that, so that nobody had to run every single week, except I guess the drivers, but they do it by choice.
Speaking of which, Matt, are you going to be? Are you still racing? Are you going to continue racing, or are you just?
I've got to get this press box thing out of here first. I've got 2 cars I'm looking at right now, and it's like, oh, sakes, I should be working on this stuff. We did really good on points last year, so I've got an engine to swap, and I should be good to go next year. But unfortunately, I don't want to say unfortunately, this track actually takes precedent over the racing right now.
So when you asked about points racing, I guess not so much next year. Just racing for fun, racing to be with our friends. As I said, that Great Lakes Lightning Sprints group and the whole Great Lakes group are wonderful people to race with. And, we'd miss them a lot if we didn't go. So
they need to come down though and see what real clay actually is, though. The sand up there. They need to come down here. Yeah.
So are you going to be racing in that show?
Absolutely. It might be a water truck, but I'm going to race in it one way or the other. I don't know who's going to set the car up, but it's going to get raced.
I was going to say,
absolutely.
You might have an unfair advantage with the number of laps
can't
around
see
that
it.
track.
No, I can't see it. I won't have time to do any laps. What are you talking about? I don't know how it is at 5 miles an hour on a roller, maybe. But
hey, that's seat time though.
It's seat time. Yeah.
So have you guys have you been race fans for a long time? I mean, how did you get into sprint car racing as opposed to any other?
I kind of actually started out as a tractor puller guy.
Oh, okay.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, we started with antique tractors. Well, he started before we were together and raced or pulled the antique tractors.
Moved up through there. We went. This turned up as our assistant fire chief. I asked him about getting into Schultz go-kart track south of us, getting my boy into this. Because the way he's driving a 4-wheeler around, he ought to have a seatbelt or something tying himself into this. And he's like, oh yeah, I've got it, buddy. So we went down to Beaver Dam and had a lightning sprint sitting there. Of course, it's a race car, so we come home with it. It's kind of how we got into it. I was thinking go-kart, not, and this one was less than thrilled.
Oh, and then that one was in the barn for Alex for maybe 3 months when this one says, I think I need one of these for myself. And suddenly we had 2 cars.
It's the right thing to do. We're trying to save fuel. You don't want to just take one car. We didn't know what the boy could do, but we knew what Dad could do. So let's take 2 cars. And of course, you know how you get hooked on things and addicted. And now we own a racetrack. Yeah.
So have you guys been to any of the races at Millstream over the years?
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Back in, even when Randy and Lisa had it, I think they were the last of the promoters. So
we actually moved into this house in 2011, and they were running some races that year. And I remember we were watching them do hot laps even before the house was built. So yeah, we've seen everything pretty much since 2011.
Yep.
Well, and you guys are well aware of all the history involved with Millstream, Earl Baltus, all kinds of big names that have come and gone throughout the years. So it sounds like the track is in good hands.
I'm hoping.
But
I'm expecting good things,
yeah.
Scott.
And I'm sure that you guys have heard this, as far as from people, because they've been promised that racing's coming and then let down. It would start up and stop, start up and stop. How are you guys kind of addressing those concerns? I know you mentioned you're not overpromising anything, so that's a start.
We actually went to the GLSS banquet this weekend, and I pretty much explained to them the amount of work that we're putting into this. We're not going to run 20 lap shows. These will be 30 to 35 lap shows if we put this much effort into this dang thing. So yes, this will be a long term. Like I say, our boy raced. He actually run with Sam Haferteeth for a year. Just took a season off of work. So he'll be second generation if something happens to either one of us.
So
this is definitely a long term deal and investment.
He'll be helping with the track too.
Absolutely.
So it's
already is. It is.
Absolutely.
It is. And friends and everyone else we can drag in there.
Yeah.
So are you guys looking to hire any staff, for concessions or officials? I mean, I don't know how many people Rich is bringing from his crew there. Or if people are, or if you are looking for a job, how can people get a hold of you to say, hey, I'm interested in that?
Again, through the Facebook page and through the email, millstreamspeedway@gmail.com. Those are always the best ways to get in touch with us. I like the physical, it's written down somewhere so I don't lose things. But yeah, we've had a lot of people get in touch and looking to have more. Absolutely.
Is there any particular positions that you're looking that you're going to fill?
At this point, it's pretty much all of them.
Okay.
Get my legs shredded right now.
Sorry.
Pesky mouser.
That's what you get for being in the barn.
Yeah.
So even as cold as it has been, are you still spending a lot of time out at the track during the weeks?
No, absolutely. Whenever I can. Like I say, we still have full-time jobs to try and juggle along with this full-time job. So.
But he was out most of the day yesterday and most of the day today.
And today.
As I said, working on the bleachers and definitely weekend stuff. We anytime that's what I usually get to go out to. And just, as I said, since everything needs done, it just,
there's so much pre-planning, and like I say, you have to, like the lights, it's 2 months at best.
Before
and
the
some
lights
of those
come
are going
in.
to be about a month before we open for a couple of them. So it's just trying to get everything thought of right now. What do we need to do? What do we need to order so it's here when it's time to go? Because you're not going to have much time that is not, I guess there's not going to be much good weather before we start racing. It's just trying to make that plan. So if we do, great, but been there before. So.
You guys have any buyer's remorse yet after seeing how big of a list that you guys have to get done?
We kind of knew.
I was going to say, living across the street, we knew what we were getting ourselves into.
The only downside's been kind of our accountant's a little pissed with us right now. So
Matt's no longer allowed to retire.
Yeah, there's no retirement in the distant future even right now. So, but hey, what are you going to do otherwise? Love to race, love to see people come out, have a good time. Findlay needs this. I mean, that's the way it is. And for this thing to be turned into a housing development or a cornfield would just be
heartbreaking.
Yeah, to say the least. So
that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
It's officially off.
Not going to happen.
No,
not
unless corn hits, $50 a bushel or something. Might be kind of tough parking.
I know there was rumors there for the past few years with trying to get things going where,
oh, it's going to be farmland.
Yeah. So, I mean, a lot of people are happy to see you guys being so active with the track and getting it ready for racing coming up as quick as June here. That's what? That's less than
5 months.
Yeah.
I guess it is easier when we own it, other than if you were renting the track, it'd be difficult to put capital investment into it. So this makes it a lot easier. It's either we're going to bite the bullet now or in 2 years. And unfortunately, everything's kind of come due. It just one thing into another. It's all intertwined. So you just do it all, and there'll still be some stuff like the bathroom.
So back.
We're going to get all we can.
to Rich Farmer, he's not renting it from you guys to run
No.
shows. He's just
No,
working
no.
with you guys. It's
Right.
kind of
Right.
like a
He's
joint.
Yeah, like a joint thing primarily. Obviously, he knows a lot more than we do, so we're going to follow pretty much all his advice. But yeah, we're going to work with him so that we can learn to do it on our own over the years.
So looking ahead, 2026 maybe 2025. If everything goes well this year, what would be some of the big series, or would you even be interested in having like a World of Outlaws or the High Limit series, or a kind of a big show like that? Is that something
Sure.
you would even consider?
A couple of them, absolutely.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah,
there's a couple of them guys that have already raced at this track, actually.
Oh, absolutely. A lot of them have been here. I spoke to the High Limit people at PRI a little bit, and they said, they really want to see how it goes this first year because they don't want to, bring their cars in if it's not ready, and we don't want them here if it's not ready. But yeah, I've already talked to them a little bit, and as you said, sand riggers a little bit, fenders and no fenders. We've got all kinds of things going. Yeah, we had somebody approach us about flat track motorcycle racing.
Well, Rich he's got a show at Fremont this year.
That could be
Yeah.
exciting, especially
They
with
were
the
all
inside
about it.
wall gone.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I mean, we're really open to a lot of different ideas. We want to hold on to the tradition, but we also want to add some things if we can to make it even more exciting.
And I think that's something that people are very receptive of, especially the fact that you guys are so receptive of people's input, like getting rid of the inside wall.
Yeah.
Which is a big thing. And speaking for support classes, I wouldn't mind seeing some stock cars there, maybe some modifieds,
Kind of self-serving there.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, I know, but
I know.
You can put wings on the top of those, right?
No. Okay.
Yeah, we'll talk about it.
We talked to Corey.
Corey McCoy.
Yes, Corey. And so, yeah, I mean, as I said, we've got a lot of different things on the table.
I know, Corey, we work a lot with him. He's got that Showdown series with the Oakshade stock cars and the Fremont dirt trucks, and even the Toledo factory stocks and other cars. But I know
it's a fun show.
He expressed interest in trying to expand beyond Fremont and Oakshade and get maybe a Millstream show. So good to know that there's talks going on there.
Yeah, we got to meet him about 2 weeks ago, a week and a half ago. And so, as I said, everything's on the table. Yeah.
Rich likes him, so that helps.
Yeah. That helps.
So if
you give them,
go ahead.
I was just to say, if you give them options to race, you got to have places for these guys to run in different tracks. That seems to be I know we enjoyed that, being able to go and travel different places for sure and meet different people and different track owners and stuff like that. So that was the fun part of it. It's never the same place.
I'm just being selfish. I just want to race there without an inside wall. Awesome.
We'll put you on the new inside track then.
See,
there will be.
Come on. I like the big track.
Scott, did you know that Millstream was the very first dirt track I ever raced? I did
not know that.
I had been racing pavement, Toledo Speedway, Flat Rock, and there was some kind of a special show, 1971.
And you ran a late model?
I ran my pavement late model
on the dirt.
On dirt.
And how'd you do?
Very first. I wrecked.
Inside wall again?
Yeah, it could have been, yeah.
Is that when you switched to dirt then?
No, that didn't happen until, I don't know, 73 or so when I got transferred to the Albany, New York area. But that's a story for another day.
If people want to sponsor, I'm assuming you guys are looking for sponsors, any kind of sponsor.
Absolutely.
They can get a hold of you as well through the Facebook page.
Absolutely. We are just now kind of really getting into going out and seeking. So yes, it would be great if some of them came to us too.
Well, I know there were back, we were doing a lot with Scott Warner there when he was trying to get it going a couple of years ago. And there was a lot of businesses that reached out to him that wanted to get involved with things. So I'm sure that they're still down there. A lot of Findlay businesses want to get involved.
Oh yeah. And as I said, we've started having meetings. I've been making phone calls. Now it's time to start having meetings. So we're doing that.
So you
The
guys
plate's
are the
been
ones to
awfully
talk
full.
Absolutely.
to. What was that, Matt?
I say the plate's been awfully full.
I
Yeah.
bet.
We actually made a list here a couple of weeks ago. Is what do we have to do to make this happen? What do we have to have? So,
How many items
and
are
then
on
did
that
the
list?
weather thing and
Bleachers, bathrooms, lights, sound, and track.
track. Yeah. And
That's not
what's
too
our backup plan if one of those were to fall through?
And we have backup plans for
Put it
all
on
of
the
them.
hacksaws and lawn chairs on the hill, I guess. So
Absolutely.
it'll happen one way or the other here.
So do you have any work days scheduled for where, people can come out and volunteer their time?
At this point, with the weather, not so much, but definitely keep an eye on the Facebook page. I try to post it as far ahead as possible, but again, sometimes it's one of those. And I think the last one was this Saturday ended up being 60 degrees, and we didn't expect it to be. So okay, we're going to go over and work on the fence. So sometimes it's that short a notice, but anytime we're going to do something, I post it on Facebook, and I'm starting a list of people who don't see it on Facebook, so I have to text them, but I will do that.
Awesome. Well, we'll keep.
We travel to work too, so we're down in Springboro with Mike and the Heitmeyer group. Or Mike's one of our racers from up north, and they decided to drive. Mike went about 5 hours down to help us
With the bleachers.
moving some bleachers here. So all this help was greatly appreciated. This guy's put in a lot of time and effort and money and just to do this stuff, just for the job, the love of racing, to say the least.
Yeah.
And Mike wants to come down.
I think that's kind of the racer's mentality. They put a lot of hours in, a lot of money, whether it's on their own car or helping others. So, yeah.
Exactly.
A lot of people want to race there. A lot of people want to see races there. So.
And a lot of people have just had relatives that used to race there.
Yeah.
They don't even race. And they're like, hey, we want to help. It's like, okay.
That's for me, that's been one of the best parts is, my dad, my uncle, my grandpa. I just love hearing the stories and gathering the history and knowing that we're going to be another chapter in that.
I have stories. I can't tell them on the show, but I have stories. Has anybody reached out to you guys about the Ron Jenkins Memorial that they used to do there?
Not yet, but
Okay.
it's definitely something I'm aware of.
Okay. I was going to say, I bet you somebody will.
Especially now. Yes,
Yeah.
I'm sure they will.
Well, we appreciate the time. I know you guys are busy.
Yeah.
Hopefully you can go relax at least tonight, maybe. I don't know. But
It's already
Metal
dark.
Roof to put on
So, yeah.
actually tonight yet,
oh,
so
jeez.
it never ends.
We're looking forward to racing returning to Millstream Speedway this summer. Again, right now, 2 confirmed dates. The Ohio Sprint Speed Week date with the fast sprints Friday, the 14th of June. Did you guys have any say as to what day that was going to be?
We had talked a little bit. I know it always used to be Millstream was the first day, the Sunday. I think we needed to let them get a few dates under their belts before we jumped in there. I didn't think we needed to be opening night.
Okay, that's fair. And then the Great Lakes Super Sprints and the other the Barry's got all
Traditional sprints and lightning sprints.
And the traditional sprints, those are the wingless 410s, right?
Yes.
Yep.
It'd be
Yes.
kind of cool to see that. I don't think I've seen wingless sprints at Millstream.
I've seen a lot of pictures of them recently. So yeah.
Yeah, every weekend for the last 5 years, it seemed.
Before we let you go, AJ D. Tomaso said hello. And what's the cat's name?
This one is just girl.
Yeah, this is just a girl.
This is just a farm cat. We got too many of them for sure. We have no mice, but yeah, or cat.
That's a good thing.
Yes.
No.
Yep. She's
We can
just a
hand
farm
them out at
cat.
the gate, so
Doesn't look
you'll get
like
a
an
trophy and a
outside
cat.
cat.
They're pretty spoiled in the heated barn and the cat door to get in here. Oh yeah, they're barn cats, but they're spoiled barn cats.
Yeah, spoiled barn cats.
Oh, I did have one more question that just popped in my head.
Uh-oh.
Any idea as far as, and this is probably getting into the weeds for you guys a little bit, but Any idea as far as food, what kind of concessions are going to be available?
We've had a couple of meetings about that this week as well. I think it's going to be traditional track food. We know
Really picked out a specialty that makes the track.
Yeah. Every track, every concession stand has something that's just theirs, something that that people remember. And we haven't quite figured that out yet. We have some ideas, but we'll see.
Definitely looking forward to that too. That's my third favorite thing. Racing, watching racing, and eating and watching racing.
There you go.
Actually, that might be first. I might not have those in order.
Eating at a racetrack.
Yes.
There you go.
Matt and Beth, we appreciate the time again, and good luck and everything. We'll follow you guys here on Facebook and reach out to us if you guys need anything.
We sure will. Thanks so much.
All right, we'll see you guys.
Any breaking news, let us share it.
Oh, yeah.
I sure will. I sure will.
Thanks,
Alrighty.
guys.
Thank you.
See ya.
Bye-bye.
There you go. New owners of Millstream Speedway, Matt and Beth Cogley.
Yeah.
Getting to know them a little bit and looking forward. I'm kind of excited.
Yeah.
Looking forward to a new season.
It's not going to be a huge summer, but that's a good thing.
Well, yeah, you kind of got to ease back into it. The track has been neglected for a little while, unfortunately. The facility, I should say.
Well, and they're kind of newbies to racing or to track management. So
And a lot on their plates right now, so they got a lot of work to do. Make sure to contact Freeze Frame Photos for all your racing photo needs, from action shots to victory lane. They have custom magnets, can koozies, tumblers, other gift items like these right here. That's a little custom coaster for your cup holders in your car. You can order 2024 calendars. Just call Charlie, 419-476-9978. I got to get hold of him. I ordered a couple 8x10 photos from him, too. I got to get those.
checkered flag?
Yeah, as a matter of fact. Freeze frame photos, special moments, frozen in time. Coming up, we'll be doing How Many, a chance to win Big D's Pizza. We'll also do the limited edition Hammer Down Racing Report window sticker giveaway. Hashtag DCR if you haven't done that in the comments of our Facebook Live or the YouTube Live. If just type that in, just hashtag DCR just like it is on the screen, and you'll be entered into that drawing, which we'll do here in a little bit. Before we get to those giveaways, we got some news to take care of. Lots of stuff going on. Actually, we got some GLSS news too.
Ooh.
Yeah. So let's check.
Latest racing news.
Promoter John Boers has tabbed Justin Lisky
That's a familiar name.
as the new director of operations at Attica Raceway Park. You know why that name's very familiar?
Because his dad is the announcer.
Yeah, that's one of the. Yeah. Lisky will work closely with longtime Attica operations director Rex Lejeune and Boers over the next few months. Learning the position, Lisky, is 34, is the son of Attica's longtime announcer Brian Lisky, grandson of former sprint car driver Al Lisky. He's started at Attica helping with cleanup following the races when he was a teenager. Justin also served as race director and head scorer at Fremont Speedway in the past, and has helped as a pit worker at Attica over the last few years. Lisky will work with Boers and Lejeune in the next coming weeks to finalize the 2024 schedule, which is set to begin on Friday, March 15th, with a full show of 410 sprints, UMP late models, and 305 sprints. So there you go. Attica's opening date. Again, a day where it could be 10 degrees and snowy. Something interesting going on over there?
No.
Okay, just checking. The 2024 High Limit Racing event format has been finalized. Similar to the 2023 All-Star Circuit of Champions format, the 2024 High Limit Racing format took that baseline and made minor adjustments. The High Limit format will utilize overall qualifying instead of by heats to determine lineups, which will still see the fastest car in each heat inverted to fourth, with the others starting straight up. Heats will see the winners and fastest qualifier transfer. Hold on. I messed myself up here. And fastest go to the dash. Fastest qualifier go to the dash. So the twist comes if the fastest qualifier wins the heat, because there's supposed to be two cars from each heat.
Right.
So if that winner is the car that started fourth, the quick qualifier, they're going to go to the next, second place, whoever finished in second. will take that.
I'm glad they're doing that.
Yeah.
I really don't like races where they start the fastest car on the point.
But the heat race, fast qualifier that wins the heat race will be guaranteed the best available dash starting spot in the dash. So a little more incentive to win from the fourth spot. Not that there's never enough incentive. Everything from the A main after the dash to the B main and beyond will be lined straight up by the heat race finishes. The front row of the B main is reserved for the 2 fastest non-transfers from heats. So that's the format. To follow all that, there'll be a test a little bit later.
Yeah, sounds kind of NASCAR-ish to me, but that's okay.
XR Events announced last year that they were building a quarter-mile racetrack inside the historic Pennsboro Speedway in West Virginia. In December, the people of Ritchie County and the Fair Board agreed that the original track should be brought back. All the permits have been issued, and a multi-year agreement has been made for XR Events to bring back Pennsboro Speedway. The first race is scheduled for Memorial Day weekend.
Ooh.
That's a half-mile track, but that thing looks huge.
It does.
It's a big half mile.
5/8.
It's like a super speedway of dirt.
Yep, you betcha.
Have you raced down there?
You know, I've never raced Pennsboro. I've run some Pennsylvania tracks, but
Well, this is West Virginia.
oh yeah, okay.
Just named Pennsboro.
Yeah.
That's yeah. Look, that ought to be cool. I've seen a lot of old video from like the early '80s. The packed pits.
And West Virginia Motor Speedway was a monster too.
Speaking of NASCAR, they've made several tweaks to the format for the Busch Light Clash at the LA Coliseum. Cup Series teams will take to the track for the first time on Saturday, February 3rd, for a combined practice and qualifying session. The field will be split into 3 groups. Each group will have 3 sessions on track. However, there will not be single-car qualifying, and a driver's fastest lap from the final practice session will determine the lineups for the heat races. There will be 4 heat races of 25 laps. Top 5 drivers from each heat race will advance to the Clash. The heat races will take place on Saturday instead of Sunday. Saturday's events will not be open to the public. It'll be televised on FS1.
Really?
Though. Yeah. Kind of weird, though. I don't... maybe they figured not enough people will be interested in that. Wouldn't be worth opening up the Coliseum and
I don't know.
staffing. I don't know. But anyway, Sunday, February 4th, events will be the last chance qualifying race and the Busch Light Clash. NASCAR also made the move to 175 lap last chance qualifying race instead of 2 races of 50 laps as in years past. The field size for the Busch Light Clash has also been decreased by 4 cars, as only 23 drivers will make the field versus 27 from last year. Busch Light Clash the Coliseum will be 150 laps, and only green flag laps will count. The race must finish under green. The Clash will be live on Fox. Again, that's February 4th. It's coming up soon.
That's not far away.
No. Sad news here. Ryan Pemberton, veteran. I mentioned this last week. I hate having to do these kind of stories each week. Ryan Pemberton, a veteran of the NASCAR Garage, died on Sunday. He was only 54. Pemberton mostly worked with Junior Motorsports as the competition director for the NASCAR. Most recently worked with Junior Motorsports as the competition director and also as a competition director for NASCAR Xfinity Series program.
A lot of people would be more familiar with his brother Robin Pemberton, who was crew chief for a lot of big-name NASCAR guys, and then went on to be a NASCAR executive.
Ryan Pemberton will be remembered for his time spent atop the pit box as a crew chief. Pemberton oversaw the number 7 team at Junior Motorsports in 2014 and guided Regan Smith to a victory. So, GLSS, we mentioned this earlier, Great Lakes Super Sprints. We were just talking a little bit earlier about that. Barry Marlowe, he sent out an email last night with Barry's pretty laid back. He was a little fired up in this email. It was sent out to teams and GLSS staff. But they had a press release that they released today. This is what the press release said. Quote, in the fall of 2022, after GLSS purchased the National Racing Alliance, known locally as the NRA, also known as the NRA Sprint Invaders, etc., There was a lot of discussion on the best course for the 360 winged organization. Against some recommendations to eliminate the NRA name out of the gate, Barry Marlowe, the GLSS owner, decided to keep the name in the hope of unifying everyone in a smooth transition. The goal was to bring the whole organization under GLSS, but leave the Ohio races under the NRA Buckeye division and all the Michigan tracks under the Wolverine division. All drivers and teams would be members of GLSS with the same rules, regulations, procedures, benefits, and payouts. The hope of keeping local sponsors in a smooth transition locally failed well before the season started, when not one of the previous NRA sponsors was willing to continue as a sponsor. As the season wore on, there seemed to be more confusion between tracks and fans about the relationship between GLSS and the NRA. Marlowe said, quote, "It was always clear to me. I've always felt it was one organization, but as the season wore on, it felt as if they were separated." As GLSS started meeting with tracks for the 2024 season, the tracks were told that the NRA name, separate Facebook page, and separate website would be retired, and everything starting in 2024 would be under the GLSS banner, which when we last talked to Barry, that's kind of the way I understood it. That was the plan all along. The tracks were very favorable to the change and felt this would be better on marketing and promotion in the long run. Unfortunately, due to a sudden death in Marlowe's family, this announcement was delayed by a week, and the previously scheduled NRA Facebook post popped up yesterday. Actually, was it yesterday? Wednesday.
Kind of caught everybody by surprise.
About shutting down the site. This inadvertent timing mistake caused a couple of people to come out of their camps prematurely and start bashing what GLSS is doing. What's worse is one individual is doing it from a National Racing Alliance Twitter page, or X page, whatever you want to call it now, posing as the owner of the NRA. Legal counsel has been notified, and this will be dealt with in a timely fashion. The seriousness of another post is bashing... another post is bashing a local track we race at, just as the NRA are posing. Now I'm messing up what I'm reading here. I tried editing this. Apparently, I didn't edit it very well. Anyway,
see.
The Twitter account made a post bashing one of the tracks they race at.
Right.
Basically. In a call to Marlowe this afternoon, he said, "I didn't even realize the NRA had a Twitter account. Our fans quickly saw through the post about GLSS, but when I saw the post again against one of our tracks, I was torqued," unquote. That's Barry speaking there.
That means he was PO'd.
Yeah, and it's hard to get him PO'd, I think. GLSS staff are working on compiling all the NRA past history and results, and will archive them on the GLSS website for future reference. And a little backstory that was not part of the press release, which I don't know. I mean, it was sent out in the email, so I'm not going to mention specific names of the offending party, but what it sounds like happened was that when Barry went to purchase the NRA sprints,
NRA, right?
Yeah, another party that did not yet own the NRA was attempting to purchase it, and at the same time was trying to sell it to Barry. So, and Ron Haymans, who owned our NRA, got wind of this and cut that third party out and sold, and Barry bought the series directly from Ron.
Right.
So, they severed ties with that third party there, and according to the email, this third party had set up a NRA Twitter account at the time this was all going on, and neither Marlowe nor Hammond knew this account even existed until just earlier this week.
Ooh.
So yeah, a little bit of drama there.
A little excitement on a cold week.
I feel bad for Barry, but yeah. So they'll get things sorted out. So basically, the GLSS is the encompassing banner there for all 360 sprints in the Ohio and what was the NRA, or I'm sorry, in Michigan, and what was the NRA in Ohio. So that's all going to be just GLSS. Like at Lima Land now, it's GLSS shows. So
and that shouldn't be any huge change because they'll be dealing
with
the same
people, same cars, same rules they dealt with last year. It's just under a different name. So it's all good. It's a lot different than the high limit taking over the All-Stars, because that became a totally different thing.
That still has me wondering.
Yeah, me too. It still have me scratching my head, but yeah. So that's it for racing news. We do have a Hammer Down hotline, a couple texts actually. If you want to leave a message or send us a text, something to talk about on the show, you can do so anytime. Just call the Hammer Down hotline.
Or leave a voicemail.
Yeah, well, yeah. 419-318-3081. If you call it, you're going to leave a voicemail, or you'll hang up, either one.
Right.
419-318-3081 is Hammer Down hotline number. Got a couple texts in this week. First one was, first text read, if fans, drivers, and owners could change one rule, what would it be? And this person shared his answers. His answers as a fan and driver, all restarts would be double file. That would make it exciting all the time. As a racer, I don't like that idea, but that's just me. As an owner, his rule would be more tech. He wants a level playing field. What about you? If there was one rule that could be changed, what would it be for you?
Any class or?
Yeah, just in general.
Wow. Qualifying is mandatory. No
in all classes?
No pill draw, period. Pill draw?
See, again, I think that is more based on your level, where you're at.
But everybody gets an opportunity to hot lap. And
I know, but I'm saying...
but
if it was 10 years ago and I'm just starting out racing, pill draw's my friend. I love the pill draw because I ain't going to qualify good.
But qualifying puts the racer in charge of his future.
This is true.
And
now I would say I would prefer that. I'm not the best qualifier, but my pill draws have been absolute crap the past year,
so when you were starting out a dozen years ago,
I was for the pill draw.
Yeah.
Give me a number one pill.
Yeah, and that's frightening.
Maybe the second year it was frightening. It was
an absolute rookie on the point.
Okay, maybe second year would have been
group
good.
Qualifying.
Yeah, I don't know.
And you?
I'm for more tech, or equal tech at least. Some tech. Yeah. That's just me. Let us know what you think. Put it what you think in the comments, or again, if you want to think about it a while, and call the Hammer Down hotline. There you go, 419-318-3081. Switch back over here, see if anybody else. Pill draw should be in case weather coming. Try to get racing in faster.
Yeah, but everybody hot laps anyway. So why not qualify while you're
hot lapping? Okay. But you're going to only hot lap a few cars at a time, or qualify a few cars at a time, where if you hot lap, you can probably get more cars.
Quite honestly, Scott, the guys that are on your bumper probably aren't going to be a factor. You know,
that's true.
If you're going to group qualify, be smart enough to spread out a little bit. Nah, group qualifying.
Okay. Karen Van Pelt prefers the pill draw. I'm not the only one.
I hate pill draw, but that's okay.
Well, I'm just saying I can understand both sides. I'm for qualifying now, but a few years ago I would be more for the pill draw. Not good at drawing and not good in qualifying. Indifferent. There you go. They're doing it now in ARCA. 5 cars max on the track at a time for group qualifying. Pill draws are way better. Qualify, but fast time draws for invert number.
I like that.
That's not, why? Because that's your son that made that comment?
No.
Okay.
Some guys are very good at qualifying fourth.
Well, and like what Corey does for the Showdown Series, which is the same as like the High Limit or All Stars, is, they invert for the heats.
Okay. So as long as you're doing the same thing every time, somebody's going to figure out the system. If you do a pill draw, 1, 2, 3, or 4, qualifying.
I don't think that'd be too hard to work. I got to qualify 4th in my group.
Oh, it's not that hard.
Okay. I'm not at your level of racing experience, but
Yeah, well,
I
neither
find
am
that
I.
hard to believe. But I'll take a word.
I'm not at my level. Yeah, whatever.
All right. Another text we got in. We all know Lima won't run a big show. Why is the question? Faculty or facility and faculty can easily handle it. Is the surface in such terrible condition that they are embarrassed to invite the pros? I did notice extra chicken wire this year to catch rocks from hitting spectators. So this person, I think, is not a fan of Lima, I'm guessing. I know a lot of tracks had issues with their track surface as far as it being racy. I was only at Lima once this year. The one time I was there, track surface seemed fine to me. I mean,
It wasn't that bad.
they were racing side by side, passing on the outside.
That's what you reported back, that it was some pretty decent racing.
Yeah, but I don't know the track conditions the rest of the year, and we
Right.
can't speak for Lima's. I mean,
Maybe it was just good because you were there.
yeah. I know that Lima's had some big shows in the past. They used to host the Brad Doty.
They used
years
to have
ago.
some ALMS shows.
Yeah, and maybe, well, the schedule they put out, they did say that they're still working on some other things, so I don't know. We don't have the insight to answer that or even verify that they won't run a big show.
Well, and bringing in a big show, then nobody has home track advantage, so they're usually pretty good shows.
Yeah. So that's it for this week's Hammer Down Hotline. At least those. So how about we give away some pizza? Sound like a good idea to you?
Yeah.
Let's.
I haven't had dinner yet.
I actually had Big D's. John brought me some on Sunday.
Yeah.
Got a whole pizza boat. Oh, that was good.
I heard that John was going there, and I had already planned dinner, so.
Oh, well. Here we go.
How many?
So last week's How Many was how many times will Saturday's Chili Bowl winner have won the Chili Bowl Nationals? And that was Logan Seavey, picked up his second consecutive.
It was Dose.
So he's got 2. So we had quite a few people that picked 2. Ron, you picked 3. I picked 2. So it's been a while since I beat you.
I thought you were going optimistic. I thought you were going to pick 4.
Nope.
You're the one that's keeping track. So.
Yeah. So we did have a tie, and then we're going to have to spin the Big D's pizza wheel here to determine this week's winner. Yeah, we had there's quite a few of them on there this week. As soon as we get the names on there, we'll let you know who they are.
7?
There we go. Yeah, we got Doug Frost, John Young, Fa.
6.
We're going to go with that, just Fa. Kevin Light, David Keegan, and Cartoon 313. That was one of the guesses from YouTube.
Okay.
So if Cartoon 313 wins, you're somehow going to have to verify who you are, that you actually are Cartoon 313 on YouTube. Better to use your real name on YouTube if you're going to do the guesses, because it'll be easier first to determine. Just saying. So here we go. Let's spin the Big D's pizza wheel to find out who's going to win Big D's pizza for this week. Again, all these fine folks guessed 2, so they were all correct. And it looks like it's going to be Doug Frost.
Congratulations, Doug. Enjoy your pizza.
We have 30 days claim your pizza from Big D's Pizza over there in Clyde. Get a hold of Dean Henry or us, and we'll get you hooked up with them. So congratulations. Still have that window sticker, the limited edition Hammer Down Racing Report window sticker to give away. We'll do that here in just a little bit. Hashtag DCR.
I've still got to get Foz mailed out to him. The shop has been busy and the weather hasn't been conducive, so it'll happen.
So it's still coming. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So again, hashtag DCR to get in for the drawing for that, which we'll do here momentarily. Before we get to our weekend racing menu, got to mention that talked about this a little bit earlier, that last week on the show, one of the Hammer Down Hotline things was somebody asked about having a list of the Hammer Down Army drivers, which if you're not familiar with the Hammer Down Army drivers, all they are is folks that slap a Hammer Down Racing Report logo on their car, which you get from DCR Graphics for just $5. And we report on those drivers each week as long as they submit the results. I was pretty kind this year. I actually sought some results out for even if people didn't. But I've set up a system. I actually work with Dale. So we have on the website, hammerdownracingreport.com, we have the Hammer Down Army drivers listed for last year, 2023.
Right.
and for this year, 2024. So what I decided that I'm going to make folks do, you have to re-enlist for just because you were in the Army in 2023.
Oh, so they have to re-up for 24.
You have to re-up, yes. And all that involves is just sending us a picture of Hammer Down Racing Report on your 2024 ride. So, and John Young.
Because cars change.
Exactly. So if you're running the same car, that's fine. Just send us a picture. Just tag us on Facebook, whatever.
If your car didn't change, we'll never know.
Yeah. So, and we'll get you back in the Hammer Down Army. We had quite a few drivers last year in the Army, and we'd started that past the second half of the year.
Right.
So plenty of time to get in on the Hammer Down Army this year. The Hammer Down logo on your car doesn't have to be an afterthought. You can actually strategically place it with all your other stuff this year before the season starts. So get on that. Get a hold of Dale. Or you can keep listening to us, and maybe you might win one.
There was a sticker on the second place champagne car at Sandusky. Does that count?
Yeah.
Ooh.
I think we reported on that.
Ooh, okay.
Did we?
I don't know.
Ron Miller finished second. There you go.
Yeah.
We reported on that.
So did Scott.
Yeah, well, that's true. I did. Let's check out our Big D's Pizza Racing menu.
This weekend, Big D's Pizza Racing Menu.
The World of Outlaws Case Construction Equipment Late Model Series Sunshine Nationals was scheduled to begin tonight.
Rain.
And it has been canceled due to rain. That was some breaking news just before we came on. So tonight was canceled. It should resume tomorrow, Friday night, and then Saturday as well. That's at Volusia Speedway Park in Barberville, Florida.
Barberton.
That's what I thought. Yeah, I didn't double check Dave's Barberton. Yeah, and I believe there's like a lot of late models going on in that Sunshine Nationals, like a lot of crates, 604s,
Right.
602s. So we'll have to wait till tomorrow night to see that. Down under in Australia, round 5 of the track championship at Murray Bridge Speedway. That'll be Saturday, January 20th, featuring street stocks, wingless sprints, Formula 500s, Mod Lights, Super Sedans, and the AMPCAs. Premier Speedway, they're hosting the Grand Annual Sprint Car Classic Friday through Sunday, January 19th through 21st. That features sprint cars and super rods, and is also scheduled to be streamed on Flow Racing.
Ooh.
So you might be able to watch some racing from Australia. Might have to get up early, though. Not sure on the times on that.
Where is it?
Premier Speedway.
That's East Coast. They're 14 hours ahead of us.
14 hours ahead. So if it's 8 o'clock here, it is
6 o'clock.
10 o'clock there. 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
In the morning.
Yeah.
You might have to do some, go to Flow Racing if you want to watch that and look at their schedule to figure that out. Let's draw for our winner of our DCR limited edition Hammer Down Racing Report window sticker. You know what? Didn't do this earlier. Seems like there should be more than that. I thought I've seen more entries than that. Hashtag DCR, if you haven't entered. 1:15 a.m., Dave Kimmer says.
Right.
Weird.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know why that's showing just that. So here we go. We're going to draw for our Big D's Pizza here. Or not Big D's, I'm sorry. Window sticker. Just making sure all this.
Hashtag DCR.
Yeah. Uh-oh. I think I killed it. Nope, it's coming back. Okay, here we go. For Big D. Why do I keep saying that? Because I'm talking and trying to click things.
DCR graphics.
Yes, for the limited edition Hammer Down Racing Report window sticker. We are going to draw for that right now. Here we go. Boom. Gary Cole. He was a 2023 Hammer Down Army driver.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and I believe he's going to be again. So congratulations to Gary Cole, which he probably could get this easily from Dale anyways, but you have the limited edition.
Yeah, something must have gone crazy with that because I did see that my son put my favorite son.
Your favorite son.
Yeah, had DCRN.
Right there.
Oh, well. There's always next week, folks.
There you go. We got more to give away. So congratulations to Gary Cole. You can pick that up from Ron Miller Race Cars. 30 days to claim that. And if not, then Ron's going to keep it or we'll give it away. Again, Dale says this is rigged. So that's going to do it for this edition of the Hammer Down Racing Report. Thanks to associate producer Dave Kimmer, contributors John Young, Bob Stazak. Make sure to like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter at Hammer Report, follow us on YouTube, listen to us on your favorite podcasting platform, including Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Check us out at HammerdownRacingReport.com. Again, for the Hammer Down Army, HammerdownRacingReport.com. There's a menu item, Hammer Down Army. Yep. Click on that. You can see the drivers there. It talks about everything. And I forgot to mention this earlier. I'll remind you when race season gets going around here, but there's a link to a form that actually Dale created for me where you can put in your results each week.
Ooh, pretty cool.
Yeah. So you have to do it before 3 o'clock on Thursday if you want to be included for that week's show. So the Hammer Down Army does have some work to do.
Wait, we can't go yet.
What?
Dean Henry pointed something out.
Oh, I did forget to do that, didn't I?
This week's how many?
I did forget to do that.
Well,
right.
Scott's getting that set up.
Well, I got that set up.
Okay, good girl.
What? You're right. I did forget to do this week's how many. Yeah.
Thank you, Dean Henry.
I got so excited that I won there, and I got to go first. So, yeah, this week's how many? Yeah, thanks, Dean. Thanks for catching me on that. Chance to win a Big D's pizza. Yeah, I prematurely was ending the show. It's been so long. How many World of Outlaw late models will be in action Saturday at Volusia?
The weather might clear up.
I hope it clears up because it could be a 0 then. That's the how many. Put your answer in the comments of our Facebook Live or YouTube Live, and whoever's closest next week will win a Big D's pizza.
And guess who goes first, Scott? That's you.
That would be me. And Gretchen shared the direct link there to the Hammer Down Army. Thank you, Dean. Yes, thank you, Dean. Dean says 45. We have Steve says 46. We got a 65. We got a 33.
That's late models. Now it's
just late, not the crate late models, just the World of Outlaw late models.
Just the supers.
Yes. I'm going to go with, I'm thinking 30s. I'm thinking a number in the 30s. I'm going to go with your number, 35.
36.
Really? All right. You're optimistic.
I would have gone 35 anyway.
So you can put your guess in the comments of our Facebook Live or the YouTube Live up until, we'll say 4 o'clock on Saturday. Or would that be too late?
Yeah.
Noon on Saturday? Noon on Saturday. So if you're listening to us on the podcast, not listening to us live, you can still get in on the guess as long as it's before noon Eastern. Just go to find the Facebook Live on our Facebook page, the broadcast, and then...
I'm seeing a lot of numbers. Nobody's thinking that it's going to rain.
No zeros yet. But whoever guessed the lowest number, who's lowest so far? 30,
probably
33 I saw was the lowest so far. Now I can... Dean's our new producer. He says now we can shut it down. All right, let's try this again. I already thanked our people. Yeah.
Right.
So, make sure to support our sponsors, DCR Graphics, Dominator Racetracks, Oakshade Raceway, Free Screen Photos, Ron Miller Race Cars. Rate, review us, share us with your friends. We appreciate that. Helps us out, too. Again, thanks to Evergreen Podcast Network for helping us as well.
Make sure to get in touch with the folks at Millstream Speedway. If you've got some free time, they could use some help.
Follow their Facebook page, Millstream Speedway there. Matt, Beth Cogley. Appreciate them for coming on the show tonight. You can also leave us a message, Hammer Down Hotline, 419-318-3081. Next week, as we mentioned earlier,
our favorite Aussie.
Australian announcer, radio guy, Wade Onger is going to be on the show once again. We're going to talk about all the racing action going on down in Australia and what his plans are for this summer coming back here. He's always working Knoxville.
Maybe he could come back to Millstream.
Maybe he could. There you go.
I mean, it is winter for him back home.
This is true. We might have some commitments, though, with some of the streaming partners.
Yeah, well.
I don't know. So that's it. We'll see you next Thursday night, 7 o'clock. We are out of here.
Yeah, thanks
See ya.
for listening.
Thanks,
folks.
Dean, for keeping me on track. I appreciate that. All right, see ya.
You have been listening to the Hammer Down Racing Report, available on demand on iTunes, Google Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting platform.